The internet and its power and influence has continued to grow to the extent that nations and businesses now debate its regulation and ownership. One of such targeted at its benefit was the Digital Sense African Forum 2015. The forum extensively discussed the business and politics of the World Wide Web.
My biggest worry is that in Nigeria today, every young person goes to school to end up with a piece of paper, apply for a job, and if not being careful, get frustrated. And I want to trust that your generation will not be like that.
The internet as a global tool is today helping to enhance lifestyle across various spectrums of the human society. However, its consumption in terms of content and regulation has remained a contentious issue. This forms the basis for the convergence of ICT stakeholders, regulators, ISPs, telecoms operators, students at the 7th edition of Digital Sense Forum, with the theme Net Neutrality and the Nigerian Internet Users. With the view to deliberate on issues Internet application has thrown up over the years.
The forum is a platform where issues related to the Internet. It's an annual thing, like I said in my speech. This is the 7th year, and it's something we are passionate about. You can see the demography of people here, students and market women. We just want Nigerians to know what is happening in the Internet.
Leveraging the values of ICT to enlightenment, education across board, and multi-stakeholders approach. The forum, by God's grace, has become a sine qua non. In other words, an essential condition, a thing that is absolutely necessary for Internet community in Nigeria as industry stakeholders-based approach to gather annually to JoJo on latest issues on Internet and Internet-related matters.
Most important thing is that there should be a middle ground. A middle ground means that there should be regulation, but the regulation should also be mindful of people's rights and freedom. There's no place that there is absolute freedom, but what is important there is that even in that your freedom, within that your freedom, it must not be absolute, because where your own stops is where my own begins. So in doing that, either as a regulator or even as an ISP, they should know when to stop.
In his goodwill message from the Nigerian Internet Group, NIG, the public relations officer of the body, Dr. Bayero Agabi, stressed the relevance of the Internet and the need for a cautious approach in order to annex its positive impact vis-a-vis the attendant effect the Internet may come with.
We have seen, a globalization of ideas, economies, businesses, innovations, and even creativity. And the Internet is actually the platform driving all of this convergence of ideas and innovations. And so if Internet is the platform that is coordinating all of these things, then you cannot argue with me that the Nigerian Internet Group is central to what is happening here today. Rather than use your creativity on the Internet for the negative end of it, use it for businesses, use it to create ideas, innovations that can bring about enterprise, and that is what it's all about.
Speaking on behalf of the Nigerian Communications Commission, the head of legal and regulatory services stressed the need to forestall abuse and institute checks and balances.
Want to see net neutrality, there must be check and balance, because like with everything human, there will be abuse if there is no restriction on it. So we must as much as possible put some checks and balance in it. So just like you go on your DSTV, and as a parent you can actually make sure your children don't go to certain channels. It's the same thing when you go online. If not, everybody has access to just any content. So I can go in there and put myself naked in there. I'm sure we don't want to go online and see things like that. So
other speakers at the event emphasized the need for students' tutelage on Internet applications capabilities and consequences.
You don't have to wait until you go through tertiary institution and then start begging to apply for a job. you can actually start something on the side. You can tell your parents, these gadgets that we're no longer using in the house, can I sell them and I'll give you the money and I'll take 15% commission. Okay, that's business.
Silk Road is part of what you call the dark internet. That is the internet you don't see. Now, where I'm going to is this. He was jailed, and the judge said very simple. He was claiming, and his counsel was claiming that his role was to just set up the site. He wasn't involved in what happened to the site. But the judge said no. The judge said, as long as you were the one that created this concept, where people can do illegal stuff, I hold you responsible. And he sent him to life imprisonment in the US just last week. So what's my point? Anyone who sends any content, like Benga said, is responsible for the content.